Right, so today, I have this old jacket from Zara. I still don't have my voice back properly. My voice sounds a little bit weird, I'm sorry if that's annoying. But I have this really old jacket from Zara. I'm pretty sure it's TRF. Yeah, it is. And I just want to refresh it a little bit. See if I can make it something that is a little bit more wearable for me. I have one that's really similar from Marge that has like the thick interior and everything. So I kind of just want a plain old simple khaki, oversized, maybe like spring jacket, possibly summer, England summer. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of DIY on this jacket and see if I can get it into something that I'd like to wear. There's a couple of other things that I'd like to do this for my wardrobe too. A couple of clothing items. So I might do those too, but I'm not the best with needle and thread. So we're going to see where we go. All I've got next to me at the moment is a pair of scissors and a needle and thread, which conveniently is the same colour as the jacket. But otherwise I just would have used black. For now, I'm just going to see what I can do to this slowly. So this may be interesting. This jacket actually has like a detachable inside. And I don't need the inside right now. So I'm actually going to take this off and throw it away. Oh, is it attached? Oh, there's a button. Okay. But I'm actually going to get rid of this tag. Zara has an excessive amount of tags on their clothing. I really don't understand it. And then the seam that the inside layer was attached to, like there's the other side of the zip. I'm just going to cut that off too because I'm not going to want that on there anymore. And I don't really mind about rough edges because I am kind of going for that look. Distressed, if you will. So I'm not going to be too careful, but I'm going to be a little bit careful because I don't want to cut the inside seam of the jacket. I just want to cut the zip off. These are good scissors. I would have actually liked to. I should have done this before. I should have bought some some of those iron-on stamps or whatever they're called. Okay, so now I've got to do the other side. And there is another zip. That's the zip just to do the jacket up. I think I'm going to leave that. I haven't decided yet. I'm winging it, as you can tell. Okay. Now, I hate the pockets too. But I hate these buttons, these black buttons. I think it would just look better without them. So, I'm going to cut these off too. Conveniently, the seam for the buttons is just open. If it was on the inside seam, I'd have to undo the seam and then sew it back up again, which would not be ideal because I'm not the best at sewing. So I left these two buttons here because I really dislike this hood. So I think I'm going to cut it off anyway. I'm not sure because I don't know whether to leave the collar or just get rid. And I think get rid. And I also think I'm going to get rid of this zip. So I'm going to cut. This is quite hard. I wouldn't suggest doing this unless you're going to throw your clothes away anyway because you're going to fuck up your clothes. Let's see. I'm just going to try it on and see where that seam falls. Which is there. So I'm going to cut just above. There's a seam sewn in here, which is good. So I can just cut just above that to get rid of the hood. And again, I don't care about the messy cut. In fact, I might even fray the jacket even more once finished, which is really easy. But I do want to keep sort of a similar amount I'm cutting away from the seam, just so that actually that goes right into the jacket. Oh, then it cuts off here. That's fine then. So I might actually have to just sew that little bit up there, that bit, because it's open up until here. If I sew that bit up and then fray it, should be good. This might be a long process, longer than I thought. I thought I was just gonna snip a few bits off and then I would like it, but not everything is as easy as you want it to be. Okay, so now I'm coming around to the other side, which was probably the same with the seam. Okay, and obviously I can't cut there because the zip's there, so I need to cut the zip first. And then I'm going to go straight through, if I can. And that's the hood off, with the tassel bits in. Okay. That already looks better. Now I need to take the zips off fully. Is that the same level? Yeah, it is, but this has this excess. You can actually see the mark from where the buttons were. But I quite like that. You know when sometimes you get, there's these like brands that buy like, I guess, old vintage clothes and then they do them up themselves and take like stuff off, like buttons or patches and stuff. And sometimes you get that when they've taken patches off and there's like a mark left over from where the patches were and it's like discoloured. I really like that effect, which is kind of what I want for this jacket anyway, so that's a good thing. Okay, so what we have here is that this didn't have a flap over because this is where the buttons were. But this has an extra layer because this is where put the buttons, these are where the slits were for where the buttons will go in. So I think I'm gonna cut that excess flap over because it just doesn't make sense to have it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna cut that. This is quite a thick layer of material, so it's taking a while to cut. I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like in my head. I don't know whether it will follow through and look like that. But I don't know if you know the brand, The Great. If you look it up, I think they sell on Net-a-Porter. I'm pretty sure they sell on Matches too. But they're kind of jackets. They have like these amazing khaki jackets, some with like amazing patches on. But like they're really oversized, kind of distressed, like a lot of raw hems. That's kind of what I'm going for with this. Hands might tire from cutting so much, as mine are right now. I doubt it's going to look anything like as good as the Great jackets do, but I think I get something similar. And I was going to get rid of this anyway, so I might as well at least attempt to renew it, and if not, then it can go, but I tried, right? Okay, raw hems and a raw opening. Okay, so these pockets here, they have this massive, I don't know, flap on it with some Velcro, and I don't like those, so I'm gonna, they're literally sewn on just by a couple of seams here, and I'm just gonna cut down here. So I still have the pocket, but I don't have this excess flap bit with Velcro, which I dislike. So back with the scissors, I'm just gonna, and I'm not gonna snip here, I'm just gonna let the scissors go through it like that. And then see, it has this little bit of wear. That's fine, I think that looks cool. This one didn't go through so easily. Cut along this seam. So I actually went through the pocket there and it's made like some distressing. That's fine. And then the only thing left on this pocket now is the other side of the Velcro, so I need to get rid of this too. Looks like it was wearing away already. What you want to do with these is like pick at the threads that it's sewn in. If you pick at the threads, at least a couple of them, they all tend to just like pull away anyway. It's like when you're opening a suit jacket pocket, they're normally sewn up. If you pull a couple of strings, then it'll be really easy to get them out. Okay, I think that looks a little bit better. So I'm going to do the same to the other side. Not only that, this jacket is so much lighter now. These scissors are almost like a knife. They're real sharp, which is good, but again, be careful. Okay, and that's that side done too. So you can see there's like discoloration there. I like that once again. Now I need to do something, well, I want to do something with these sleeves. I really dislike the zip. And I kind of want to fold them up and sew them. So, about the elbow, I'm just checking that the zip doesn't go all the way up, because I'm actually going to cut the zip out. And then you see how the material, the sleeve actually expands, which is great because I do want big sleeves. Now, before when I was doing one and then the other, for the sleeves I want it to be even, so I'm going to do these at the same time. Okay, now I need, oh, see I don't want that inseam, so I think I'm just going to cut that out. Because I want to fold the sleeves in and then sew them at a certain point. I don't like this inseam, I just want the material. So I'm just going to cut the inseam out because the inseam actually only stops at the sleeve. Well, this material does. I can just cut in here and around. Here that's messy because it's the inside of the jacket, which doesn't really matter. And I've said already, distressing is the thing I'm kind of going for here. So on this side of the inseam, I'm actually just going to cut a thread. And let it all come out. And this is the bit that attached the faux shearling bit on the inside, that can go too. And then this is kind of what I wanted here, the actual material that's a little bit distressed. I'm going to do the other sleeve at the same time so that the folds are even. As much as I want it distressed, I want the sleeves to be even, otherwise it's going to be lopsided. Don't know why I'm being stupid and using the scissors the wrong way around. There's a lot of excess thread and material around me, so I'm going to have to hoover once I'm finished. Okay, I'm not so sure how high I'm going to go with the sleeve, so I'm going to fold it and then see. Okay, and I'm going to try it, see whether that's where I want the sleeves to fall. Sleeves are a little bit slimmer than I'd want them to be, but I think that's good. So what I'm going to do is take a needle and thread and do a real simple thread on either side of the sleeve, on each sleeve. This is quite thick material, so it's going to be a bit hard to get the needle through, but hopefully it'll be fine. So this is how the sleeve falls normally, right? So this part here is the inside of the seam. So I'm going to take the needle and thread, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the middle, and there's some excess material here, so what I'm going to do is go just behind it to try and hide it. And just go through it a couple times. I can't actually get through it, so I'm using my jeans to get through the material as like a lever. Just going to go through it one more time. And tie a knot on this side and start on the other one. Cut it. Tie a knot on the end. Okay, so I've done this side. Now I'm going to do this seam here on this side of the arm. Just because, you know when you're wearing like a t-shirt or something and you roll up the sleeves, like one side starts falling, like unraveling, and the other side stays folded. If you do both sides, they'll both stay folded. So that's why I'm doing 2 on each side. And you don't have to do it too many times. It's unlikely to fall out unless you're rough with your clothes. Then I'm just going to do the other sleeve and then see whether there's any other tiny little bits I want to do. If not, I think I'm done. Definitely just prick myself with a needle. I'm starving right now, so I'm trying to do this quickly because I want to go eat something. And I wouldn't suggest rushing when you have a needle in your hands. Do they teach you how to sew in school anymore? They taught us a little bit, not massively. Well, my mum went to school. I mean, that was like the main things that they taught women back then. How to sew and cook, right? They don't teach that anymore, do they? I can't imagine. It's all about computers and stuff. They probably teach you how to make an app at school these days. I mean, we weren't taught how to make a dress, but we were taught how to use needle and thread when I was in like primary school. I think either that or I went to like an after school club and did it. Because I did like almost every after school club there was at school. I was part of it all. When I was in primary school, I had an after school club, I think almost every day of the week at some point. I made clay pots once too. Not that I remember any of this stuff, but like remember how to do it, but I was part of every sports team too. Obviously swimming, but everything. Okay, let's try this on. There's a seam up here I need to do up, isn't there? Oh, it's this tiny bit here. Let's do this real quick. Just forgotten there's a tiny little seam up here that I've opened up. It's the smallest thing. Just up here in the neck that I'm just going to open up a little bit. I mean, close, not open. Makes no sense. Just put a tiny bit of thread through these bits of material. I mean, this is not professional in any way. This is an awful sewing job, but it just means that it's closed and not gonna annoy me. Like, quickly do the other side. This one's slightly bigger for some reason. Don't know if this is going to be enough thread. Probably not. Cut that off, tie it in a knot. And that's not good. I dropped the needle right in between my trousers. Okay, got it. God, that would have been painful. Okay, now I'm going to try it on. I think it's good. I think I'd leave it like this, to be honest. The only thing I'd probably do now is, if I feel like I want to jazz it up a little bit more, add some patches to it, which I might do. I might buy on eBay. That's it for now. I hope that was, like, I don't know, relatively interesting, or you thought you made a difference and it actually looked better in the end. You probably thought they actually looked worse in the end, but I think this is more wearable now, definitely for the weather that's coming up. I might do this to a couple other pieces of clothing if you want to see that, and let me know. But that's it for now. Bye.